don't know when the system is going to perform differently because of what reason. So the adaptive system doesn't have the potentiality of sensing the malfunctioning of the system itself and to adjust the system. So there are two features. One is sensing of malfunctioning of the system itself. Second is adjustment potential. Now, if a system possesses both, then the system is intelligent. Whether it is intelligent sensors, whether it is intelligent network, intelligent control, or whether it is intelligent instrumentation. Now, fault sensing capability. Second is correction or adjustment capability. Both should be there in an intelligent system. Today, the world is busy for intelligent sensors, intelligent instrumentation, intelligent control, and maybe your smart system or smart radio, cognitive radio. Now, these types of adaptive and intelligent system have two important features. One is training. It's as soon as the malfunctioning starts, the system has to train itself. So there will be training potential. Second one, you have to test, you have to validate that the new system, the system which has changed is now going to meet the requirement of the new situation. Let's see. Now, therefore, our signal processing today are divided mainly fixed signal processing, which we teach the basic two courses of signals and systems as well as digital signal processing. Subsequently, adaptive signal processing, that is the signal processing complete course, is adaptive nature. Start from least mean square algorithm, start from recursive least square algorithm, and a host of filter and various types of applications, adaptive learning system, testing and validation system are there in this course. Subsequently, after biologically inspired technique, evolutionary computing, and nature inspired techniques, optimization techniques came into play. Now, these optimization techniques are used in adaptive signal processing because the adaptation is done not by back propagation or least mean square or recursive least square algorithm. They are derivative based learning. Derivative based learning system has the limitation of falling to local minimum. Therefore, people have gone for derivative free learning system. The derivative free learning system is based on nature and bio-inspired techniques, and that gives rise to intelligent signal processing. Today, another two things has come: robust signal processing. When the signal is contaminated with noise as well as spiking noise, impulsive noise, salt pepper noise. Yes, if the signal is contaminated with ordinary noise plus these types of socialized noise, then that signal processing which deals with spiking noise are called robust signal processing. Yes, they are the mean square error is not minimized. They are the rank of the error is used for minimization. Next, distributed signal processing. What is distributed signal processing? It is come to the world because the data or the signal or the information are not available in one place. They are available in different places. So data need not be transmitted, signal need not be transmitted, and after collection of everything in one concentrated place, the processing has to be done. That is not desirable. but this is the practice now. The new method, new techniques, or new technology that has come, distributed learning. The learning or adaptation is done in a distributed manner at every node, like sensor network, cognitive radio, or many such applications. Learning is to be done each node, and the partial results are collaborated to get the final solution. So this is five things: fixed signal processing, adaptive signal processing, intelligent signal processing, then robust signal processing, and the latest one is distributed signal processing. Now, fixed signal processing, as you know, are being covered in our two courses, signal systems and digital signal processing. It contains the fundamental of signal processing, filter design for all types of transforms. It contains finite register length effect. It contains some of the detection and estimation technique, higher order statistics. These are fixed signal processing. But today things have changed. Now adaptive signal processing, least mean square and its variant, recursively square and its variants, lattice filter, transform domain filter, support vector machine, particle filtering, and many such methods which has come to the world. So, which is being used, which are being used to develop adaptive systems. Now, subsequently, intelligent signal processing, as I told, if you are using soft and evolutionary computing technique, particularly evolutionary computing technique, like the all biological inspired technique from GA to TSO to PUCO to its optimization and so on. There are about 70 techniques. They are used to adapt the system. That is, it is an optimization process. The weights, the connecting weights of the system has to be optimized, and therefore it is very, very important that these techniques has to be used to make the signal processing system intelligent. Now, therefore, intelligent signal processing, how to use, not for conventional optimization as you are doing for maximization or minimization. It is adaptation, intelligent adaptation. So if whether it is MLP, plan, RDF, any types of recurrent neural network, the parameter of the network are adjusted using biologically inspired. And then that signal processing, we call it intelligent signal processing. As you know, adaptive linear system, the input can be serial and the input can be parallel. In the first diagram, it is parallel. In the second diagram, it is. But you are seeing the parameter or the weights or the coefficient. Yes, they are adjusted. Produce an output, compare with the desired signal. It is a supervised learning. The error is used to update the coefficient or weights. In one case, delay same signal and the delayed version of the signal is used. But in the other case, a set of parallel signals. The two ways. Okay. Subsequently, the different application, as you know, in adaptive signal processing. One is system identification, parameter estimation, using computer vision, using control, using various application of parameter estimation. So you have a physical system and you have a model. Both are kept parallel to each other. Put the input, the physical system is contaminated with editing already. So you produce, you know YK. Given XK, you know YK. Same XK is applied to a model which you are going to develop, known as the adaptive model. It produces YSK. Now, this estimated output with the actual output are compared, produce an error. by taking the difference, and that error is used to change the weights of the connecting model until the square of the error slowly diminishes from a high value to almost zero value. Stop learning. Then this second one, which is the physical model below, it is shown that is an adaptive model. You get the actual performance of the physical system after the error square during training period is minimized. Very interesting. System, hundreds of application of system identification. Then this is a detailed subsystem identification using least mean square algorithm. As I told, produce the output. Additive noise of the physical system. This automatically comes because that is the environment noise, the system noise, and in communication that is the channel noise. Produce the output, the model output you are getting. Take the difference, and the error is used to change the parameter of this. And this is called a system which is equivalent to the original system. This you can simulate and you can get the performance. The learning algorithm, which is used to adjust the weights such that the error can be minimized, was developed by Bernard Woodrow in Stanford University long back in 1965. Very, very interesting and very hundreds of applications of these algorithms are there. The second application is the channel equalization. Channel equalization. It is an inverse model. The previous one is the direct model. The physical system is kept parallel to that. In case of inverse model, the physical system and the inverse systems are kept in series. This is the you are transmitting some information through the physical channel. During the transmission, the white Gaussian noise is contaminated. This is the received signal. In the receiver, before you make a decision or decode the information, pass through inverse model. Equalizer is an inverse model of the physical channel. If the physical channel is having a transfer function, a Z, then the inverse model is having a transfer function 1 upon a Z, so that the net transfer function is unity. Under that situation, whatever you transmit, you get back. Yeah. If you transmit a binary 1, you get a binary 1, you get a 0, you get a 0. If you are transmitting a sequence of data, you receive it. So the wrong thing which is done by the channel during the process of transmission because of convolution process are recovered because equalizer is basically an adaptive deconvolver. It deconvolve. It is a deconvolution process to get back the transmitted signal. It creates 1 upon a Z. The physical model is a Z. And this is very, very fundamental in digital communication system. Equalizer. This is channel equalizer. This is, I want to give an overview of just two applications. There are adaptive line enhancer. There are many applications. I just highlight two. But in both the application, as you see, you can use least mean square learning algorithm or recursive least square learning algorithm. Let's come to the application. This I wanted to highlight for your research. See many area: optimization, prediction, classification, clustering, pattern recognition, system identification, inverse modeling, active noise control, wireless sensor network. These are applications, active noise control. Up to inverse model, these are theory. You can apply to active noise control. You can apply to wireless sensor network. You can apply for distributed network, intelligent sensors, hearing aid. You can use to hearing aid, medical diagnosis, and natural language processing. I try to go deeper into this because my group has worked in all of these applications in an extensive manner. So What I want, you may be doing lot of research, but I feel that if you can listen to these applications, you'll be motivated to work on newer types of application in this field. Active noise control. At least I have guided 4 or 5 people. At least 4 people have done PhD in this area.